Okay, last time on Ascension, most of the party stayed behind. Well, Ramiro decided to follow June to the Purple Ripple nightclub to where they found Heather, aka Katya, the DJ, being assailed by several of her brother Azek's assassins. Originally going into the changing room to rescue Matilda, June's date for the night, finding a bit of information out that Katya/Heather had changed her ways and is trying to redeem herself through saving people of the city from the Orange Plague by changing their ancestry and helping their biology match and fight the virus. However, during this time, June realized that he had contracted said Orange Plague. Through the help of our dear old Professor Membrane, he can stave it off. For how long? We don't know. Back at Heather's hideout, after dispatching one of the assassins and one getting away, a lot was spilled about what she had been doing for the past several hundred years, why she remains in the city, why is her brother exec after her, and things of the sort. Ramiro stitching her up, seeing that this isn't the first time her brother had come after her. Ramiro forgetting that the Gaius spell prohibited him from speaking about specific topics, specifically the doppelgangers. He suffered psychic damage, and it hurt quite a lot. After that was the party for King Co-Phagus. You left your weapons and armor at home, brought out your gowns and masks for the party, and left in tow with Arlim as transportation, teleporting you all via magic circle. And Heather, of course, being a noble representative, taken along as well. At the party, several prominent figures from other kingdoms hailed. Jaster Galiox from the Goblin Nation, Monarch Rala Roma from the Sea Nation as well, along with Vizier Ascent and King Co-Phagus himself, a newly turned 14-year-old boy king. Many gifts were brought, music was played, introductions to some of the NPCs were set forth. Cameron Odara from Alon, representing his king as a show of good faith to the king's party, came bearing a peace offering. Along with the Archduke Michael from the Order of Palor, and Nicholas Worthington, an assistant to Cameron, as well. After swiping an entire pig and taking it to the table with making a scene, we pick up with Ramiro and Heather sitting at a table, watching Vutha destroy the remnants of this swine, and onlookers shocked, in awe. The floor is yours, Ramiro.
Yeah, she's really going to town on that thing.
I wish you wouldn't. We're at a high-status banquet for the king.
But, I mean, she has no idea what that means.
No, you are correct. She does not. No.
I mean, not everyone's a princess, after all, right?
No, not everyone's a princess.
So, are you gonna tell him? Fawn, I mean?
About what?
I think you know about what.
No, Ramiro, I don't know about what.
The thing? The thing I can't really talk about?
You feel a piercing pain in the top of your foot.
Is it her heel?
It is her heel. And she says, I
Wow.
don't know what you're talking about, Ramiro.
That's fine, but secrets don't make for. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work. But you're a lot older than I am, so I guess you would know better.
You're right, I am quite old.
I'm just saying you should probably tell him.
In due time.
Like what, another 300 years?
When the time is right. And yes, thank you for bringing up my age as well. She kind of looks at you with a bit of an annoyed face as you had kind of
900
insulted
years
her.
looks pretty good on you, though. So, you have that going.
I haven't been around for that long, like, walking about. You know my situation.
I'm just saying, like, if he is your best friend and all, and, is he?
No, he is. That is true. I've known him for quite a long time.
Like, bestest friend ever?
So close, we're practically family.
But you haven't told him about your actual family. Seems a little weird, that's all I'm saying. I don't think he'll judge you.
And she kind of leans in close to you. Well, he might, considering that he did slaughter quite a lot of us, and he knows of the atrocities firsthand. It's something you would be hard to forget. And during this time, they start bringing out some of the gifts from guests and announcing who brought what. Now, I may be old, but I still look pretty beautiful, don't I?
That's what I just said. Literally just said that. Yes, you look pretty.
And don't you forget it.
You're cutting out.
And don't you forget it.
So, like, do you want to dance or something? I don't know. That's what people do at these parties, right?
Yes, that's what they do. And I thought you would never ask.
Vutha is finally finishing off the pig and is going for her third drink.
There are plenty of drinks to be had, and many of the waiters and waitresses bring out
right now,
little
I am
finger foods.
picturing a greasy Vutha, fingers covered, gobbling down alcohol.
Oh, yeah, this is...
With Junichi trailing behind her, desperately trying to prestidigitate her outfit back into something resembling presentableness.
Like that scene in Deadpool when he first starts transforming, something like that. Just a constant state of dirty, clean, dirty, clean, dirty, clean.
Yeah, the sight of Vutha would be more appropriate to a tavern, actually. And a tavern feast of dwarves. Not something for high society. In June, you're, why don't you roll me a wisdom saving throw to see how you're handling the stress? And, Ramiro, I would like a performance check from you.
Oh boy, we are rolling dice. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's an 8.
8.
Oh wait, was
They-
that a save? You said that was a save.
A save, yes.
Oh, then it's 11.
She's stressing you out pretty badly. Like, you're starting to mess up your hair that was prepared earlier, and it's starting to look a little,
Sweat around the
Frazzled.
collar.
yeah, you're looking frazzled. You're starting to get sweaty underneath the collar and everything. It's a good thing Matilda's not here to see you.
You look like normal June, basically.
Yeah,
I
normal
rolled
June.
a 13 on my performance check.
A 13?
Yes, I have 0 and I rolled a 13.
Well, let's see how Heather does.
He has no idea what he's doing.
You know what? I want to use a different dice for her.
Right, I use my feet and I move them.
Nope, that's on the ground. Shit. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Monkey feet.
So you just move back and forth to the music, right?
Okay. I just rolled Constitution check. Booza is officially drunk.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know. So you are doing a lot better than her. Give me a straight up dex.
A dex save?
A dex check, just straight dex check, as she trips over your leg on a turn as you are swinging.
I rolled
Around.
a 16.
16. As she begins to fall, you catch her around the waist while holding her hand, propping her up. You've kind of caught her mid-dip. Well, I'm a little flustered and off practice, that's all. Maybe a drink to steady my nerves.
Sure. Do you like meat? I'm gonna get you meat.
Sure.
I've already left.
Ramiro finds Booza by the mead barrel. Along with June.
So,
Don't drink it all. I want some.
Successfully trying to keep her from being even crazier than she already is.
Are you guys having fun? I think I'm having fun.
Hey there, Ramiro! I got like 5 pints, I think.
Yes,
Just-
and I think you could probably do to settle. There's a lovely couch right over here. Let's settle you down there. Let me get that cleaned off a little bit first.
as Vutha is taking drinks, one of the waiters is like, sir, this behavior is quite unsavory in the company of His Majesty. I would suggest you wrangle the guest in, or you may need to leave, as some of the other patrons are, being disturbed.
As June suggested, Booza is on the couch, double fisting 2 kegs of ale.
She'll pass out soon,
Oh,
I think.
Could you
Double fisting eggs?
double fisting
Alright,
kegs.
One keg in
um,
Are you Mega Manning the kegs?
going back and forth, and then he just says, can you bring me a bit of some fleece, please?
I'll be right back in a second, guys. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves for a little bit here. I'll be right back.
Booza is having the time of her life.
June is desperately looking around for some bit of fleece he can use to cast minor illusion to make her disappear.
Shit.
Because they took my component pouch away from me, and I'm very salty about it.
Your clothes
You
might
don't have
fleece
like
in
an
it.
extra pouch stashed somewhere where no one could think of looking?
Well, I mean, I've got my money, so I can still use a copper piece to cast detect thoughts, but that's about it.
Your clothes might have fleece in them.
That's true.
So, June, are you still at a table or are you near me right now? You left while he was talking to the waiter, and he's kind of going back and forth between you, like, wait, oh, God. And then so he's asking the waiter if he could get like a bit of fleece to make her just disappear for a little bit.
I will see what I can do, sir. Fawn and Trissa, what are you two up to? As Trissa, you left the group earlier, and Fawn, have you just been watching the chaos unfold?
I mean, if I recall, who was the only one that was it Fawn? Who was the one that saw me? I can't remember for the life of me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wait, saw you go off?
Yeah. That saw Trissa
I don't think
kind of
anybody
slink
saw
off.
her.
I don't believe so. I think you got off of that one scot-free.
Yeah, no, you got away. No one looked.
Yeah, we'll say that that's what it was. I don't have that recorded on documents, but I could always go back and listen to 4 hours of us BSing and playing for one little bit. But I'm going to say, Trissa, you got off us scot-free because there's a lot more people here than just the actual people.
I can imagine this place is pretty packed.
It's pretty packed, but these are the most significant people here. Other people who are here are nobles and businessmen of Brackmar themselves.
So
Plus, of
essentially,
course, all the
imagine the
servants.
entire area around us filled with like at least 30 to 40 more people.
Yes, exactly. But these are the people of interest to limit it so you're not questioning an entire party room.
So, question: is this one of those rooms where like each square is 5 feet, or like each square is 10 feet, or what?
Each square is about 5 feet. So the tables are actually accurate to what they would be. They'd fill an entire 5-foot radius.
All right. So it's just so this is the size. Got it.
Yep.
I was curious because it's a case of like different sizes.
No, I got you, and I understand. Nope, right now, as it stands, these are 5-foot squares. So it is still a very large room to boot, going across and such, which I believe the room in itself, if we zoom out, is 75 wide and 95... Now let's just call it a flat 100. So 75 wide, 100 long. And as you see, kitchen, balcony, band, everything's been properly labeled and such. So no confusion. So what would Tristan Fawn be doing? Let's start with Fawn, since he's close to the chaos. And then we'll go to Trissa.
Fawn has kind of washed his hands of this silliness. And is kind of chatting it up with Arlen. And other people of note. Still kind of keeping glances over, making sure that if anything starts getting really bad, he'll step in.
Gotcha.
Trying to look proper of the guests that are here.
Or at least go, I'm associated with them, but I'm only tangentially, so...
I don't know these people.
So Arlen would kind of turn to you as you guys were talking. Well, I must say that this is quite a interesting turnout as far as guests have gone in the past. Usually this is mostly stuffy snobs and the sort, and this seems to be quite entertaining for some people. Others are finding it a little disgusting. Myself, I kind of like the taste of change.
Yeah, I think the king is finding a little amusement to it as well, rather than being surrounded by a bunch of, lack of a better word, stick up their butts noble.
No, Fawn, just say it as it would be. They have a stick up their ass. Trust me, I know I'm one of them. But I know how to unwind once in a while.
Can you take the stick out and beat some people with it?
Then he kind of turns around in his chair and looks at the king like, and I do believe you're right. He seems to be finding quite the amusement. As he's kind of looking in the general direction of you and your crew, just watching Vutha go crazy.
To be young again.
Ah, yes.
All the life in front of him.
Ah, yes, when you've lived as...
And all that.
No, quite. He's got a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. The fact that his father named his youngest son and not his oldest as the heir to the throne, I don't know why. But different destinies, I suppose, and all that. His brother Ro ended up being captain of the Royal Guard. I don't... Do you remember him when we've brought you here before? Fawn. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. History. Do history.
Fun in history. Let's see here. That is a 4.
You don't remember him. He's a human. They all look alike. I wouldn't expect you to remember him. He's very... I should have put it cookie cutter, as they'd say.
Bland.
Yes. Exactly.
The armor doesn't really help them either. They all look like clones of each other.
No, I know. I've heard that they miss quite a bit, too. Something about their helmets getting in the way. I should do a redesign, I think.
Yeah, something to throw up to the Drugos.
Yo ho ho ho, Stormtrooper Joe.
Oh, I am glad someone picked that up. Yeah.
It's terrible.
I know, it's terrible. I do feel ashamed. Every morning when I wake up and look in the mirror.
Don't lie to me.
You are
So-
very proud.
Oh, I'm very proud of that joke.
That's a good joke.
We'll let this kingdom deal with their own problems. We have our own. And at this point, you guys continue the idle chit-chat. Let's go over to Trissa.
What's around me?
A lot of people who you have seen before. Different people, of course, not the same people. But you see merchants, lesser nobles, higher nobles up in the pecking order. But you see a large crowd around two figures. A very bulbous and fat goblin wearing a lot of rings, a lot of jewelry, and a very, for his race, sharp attire. And if you click on him, you get a nice picture, and he has this devilish grin on his face as well.
I don't know what he looks like.
And that would be King Jester Gallywix of the Goblin Nation. And next to him, kind of talking to other people around, a different gentleman who... Roll me a intelligence check to see if you've seen Tritons before. Or know of their race.
Intelligence check?
Intelligence check.
4.
4.
That seems to be our number tonight.
Yeah, that seems to be the number. With a 4, you know of their race, but beyond that, any details of like where they live, no.
Basically, I don't care.
Yeah, you just don't care. Trissa being Trissa, she doesn't care. And you
Either way, I am going to be sitting on that bench. Is it like a bench or a couch or what is it?
it's like a not a bench, but like a cushiony couch slash bench, kind of hybrid.
Like a chase lounge?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
I'm just going to be sitting on it, holding my stomach as if I'm in pain.
Okay.
Meanwhile, June, are you approaching Butha?
He's basically standing in front of Butha as casually as he possibly can,
Butha takes
pretending
one
to make
mug.
idle conversation, but
Butha takes one of the mugs and goes, "Hey, June, this is yours," and punches the mug your way. I am using physical force with a mug. Improvised weapon.
Okay, you're trying to hit June?
In my drunken state, I don't understand my strength, and I'm essentially pushing the mug towards him.
Okay, roll a improvised weapon. Do not add your proficiency bonus at all.
Yep.
would that be a disadvantage because she's drunk.
Yes, it would be. Good point. Well, actually, here, you did 3 drinks. Give me a constitution check with...
These are the 4 and 5, but yeah.
So, give me a constitution check at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Since you said you're like 5 drinks in.
Yeah. And that's cocked. Gotta roll that one. Okay. So, Constitution check, that's 10.
That is not good enough. You're officially drunk. You are considered poisoned for this duration until that is taken care of. It remains for the evening. We'll actually go to Trissa still, as being that Trissa...
Can I do my improvised weapon to try to...
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, disadvantage on the attack.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Disadvantage to try to get that mug into his hands. So, should I just add my strength? What am I adding?
Just I would say you're kind of like throw punching it, so dex.
Yeah. Dex, okay. So, with my dex, that's 16.
June, I need you to make a straight dexterity check. That still makes it.
And in continuing our trend for the night, that's a 4.
Oh no.
June, the outfit that you had brought, the lovely outfit that you had procured back in Reptitor, now stained with high-quality ale.
Oops. Sorry about that, Jin.
The
I
nice...
was totally aiming for your chest.
You hit the chest. The nice red tie that you have is now just sunken, limp, hanging straight down. And the white of your lapel and inner shirt stained with a amber light brown liquid. And it's starting to get sticky.
With a deep sigh, he begins prestidigitating the alcohol away from the out of the outfit.
Now, I have a small
It's
question.
gonna take a while.
I have a small question. It is verbal and somatic. Okay, because remember, at the same time, you guys,
Yes.
the only one who does not have their arcane focus
That's why I
or
asked
component
for
punch. Yep. Prestidigitation?
No, minor illusion,
Oh, minor illusion. Let's see.
which requires a bit of fleece and somatic components. But yeah.
That is brought out to you during everything going on with Vutha. Let us go.
Basically turn Vutha into a 5-foot by 5-foot plant
On top of the couch.
You see the arms.
in place of the couch.
You see the arms kind of in the legs and tail kind of kicking out every now and then. And she still has liquor, I'm assuming, continuously.
I have one keg of ale still in my hand.
Yep, still going at it. So back to Trissa.
When they bring me that bit of fleece, I'm like, can I also get like a pitcher of water and a couple of cups? She's going to need it badly very soon.
That you will be able to get at the main table. There has been base drinks provided for those who do not wish to partake, good sir, in the alcohol provided tonight by His Majesty.
Very good, thank you. So goes over, grabs a pitcher of water, a couple of glasses, and starts pouring for himself. This is as close to stress drinking as he gets.
Okay. Now back to Trissa. We good? We need to hop back one more time. Are we good? Okay, we're good. Just as you kind of sit there, being ignored by most partygoers, a few people who walk by kind of say a few words under muttered breath. You are approached.
Literally not listening to
That's fine.
anything you say.
You are approached by the Triton who had been introduced as Monarch Roma. As he approaches you, the outfit he is wearing is as follows. He has aquatic blue running through most of his outfit. The fins on his legs flay out from the armored knees and knee pads around him. He carries with him a three-pronged trident, very ornate and twisting golden metal with bits of embedded barnacles from the sea, giving it a elegant look, but not like rustic and trashy. On the back of him is a bit of a short cape or shawl of some sort. I'm not quite exactly how to describe it. In a light purple hue that runs up the chest and around, draping down the back of him. Now, my child, what seems to be the matter with you? You seem to be ill of some sort.
Please leave me alone.
Now, come now, if you have something wrong with you, we can always ask one of the attendants, or we can
Please leave me alone.
make a persuasion check.
How'd you spill milk on yourself so much, huh, bud?
3.
Like, that's a lot of milk.
Not a 4.
Also, do you just want to
Now,
I mean,
I will not...
that better?
It's not very good, but a 3, not gonna do it. It's like... Now, I may be of a different race than you, but I know when something is troubling someone. Roll me a deception check for your illness.
18.
19 on his insight.
Okay.
He kind of looks at you. Now, I have seen quite a bit of nobles lying through their teeth. And I know when I can see some deception, some trickery. Now, my dear, you can stop faking and you can discuss what's wrong with you. Allow me to introduce myself to get things started off properly. My name is Rala Roma, monarch of the Northern Sea. And who might I have the pleasure of addressing this fine evening?
I've asked you twice already. I'm just gonna look up at him, just
No
glare.
sucky, no shuckle.
Leave me alone.
But you still want shuckle.
I'm gonna roll intimidation.
Okay.
17.
17. And let's see here. That would just be to set a DC for that, right?
Yeah.
17.
Set a DC. I mean, that's up to you, really. If you really wanted to, you can do a will save or will chat or a wisdom save or wisdom.
I'm thinking
natural going on. It's up to you.
I'm thinking what he would have gone through in his life. Nah, I'm not gonna make him red like the guy from Breath of the Wild. No.
No.
Oh wait, who?
Sidon.
Who's Sidon? I'm sorry, my mind.
Red fishy beefcake.
Oh, that's his name. Okay, yeah. That isn't that Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild. Okay, yeah. After him kind of inciting you and calling fibs on your stomach ache, he's going to be a little sterner with you. Now, I have seen plenty of this stubbornness before, and I have known hardship myself as well. And he kind of bangs the trident on you on the ground. He's going to roll intimidation on you.
Okay.
Now, actually, I think this should be a wisdom for you.
Save or check?
Wisdom save.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a wisdom save. As he's
I got a flat 20.
flat 20. That does beat it. He's not scaring. You're not being scared by his intimidation.
All right.
He's like, I have seen people who have torn families apart. I have seen people rend money from the sick and dying. I have seen beasts rip apart and tear people limb from limb. Your little act is nothing from the things that I have experienced in my life. Usually with people like yourself who are hard-pressed, you must press harder.
Then let me reiterate. I'm going to get up and walk away.
And when you get up and trying to walk away, he puts the trident in front of you. And one thing that people must do is they must show respect when it comes to royalty as well. And for someone like yourself, in some form I am your king. Do not show me this disrespect.
I will show you whatever I want to show you. Now leave me alone. I'm just going to push past. I'm going to be walking towards the band.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself towards the band.
Go to the other side of the band.
Cool. Gotta bum it with the band and a guard then. As you walk by, you hear about 3 feet off the ground. Roma! Ha! I've not seen someone stand you up for a long time since your wife. Oh, please. Do shut up, Gallywix. Trust me,
I'm going to be watching the group, by the way.
I am not done with her for the end of this night. Whatever you say, fish boy. Cool. And as the night proceeds, the gifts are brought out, people take their seats. One after the other are brought before the king. Most of it from many of the lesser nobles is just offerings of gold. Others are a little more special, like Gallywix, who brings a full statue of gold of himself. The presents you guys offer the conch shell that has a djinn trapped inside, along with the control bracelets. The Duke, the Archduke Michael, and his chest. Cameron and his letter from the King of Elan. Heather and her scrolls. And a very ornate scroll case. Along with yours and Arlen's of a simple gift of a one-way sending, or two-way sending stone that he explains reaches directly to Queen Inaga herself. And he also says, and in turn, it can reach the Prince of Magna as well, Narum. And at that, you kind of see his eyes light up a little bit. When the last gift is presented to him, the chest that the Archduke had brought, each of these items and yourselves were inspected upon entry. And the two servants who bring them, have been bringing them up, read off the list and the names, and when the Archduke's chest is brought forth, and the one is reading it, this gift is by the Archduke of Palo, Michael himself, from Elan, and inside it contains a regal robe made from that of a red dragon. And as they open it up, an explosion rocks the hall.
Kaboom.
Garrett, you have to say it dumb.
I'm not doing the explosion like Megumi.
Do it!
No.
Do it, nerd!
No, I'm not
Do
doing it.
Coward!
Someone else did it. There we go. Good enough for the recording.
Boom.
So, at this point, the hall is rocked with an explosion.
What kind of explosion? Is it like a fireball explosion, or?
That I will need an Arcana check for.
I mean, did it have more fire than smoke, or?
Arcana check. And yes, it was very fire and brimstone.
18.
Oh, most definitely a explosion. Not meant to be by this chest. Whatever this was, it was trapped, of course. And it is magical in nature.
Trap, okay, so it's not alchemical in nature?
No. A further inspection of the chest would probably be required to know more. But as the blast ripples through and the smoke clears, the attendants that were standing right next to the chest burnt to a crisp, their lips vaporized, the burnt remnants of their skin lie on their flesh. The smell of charred skin ripples throughout the hall. The guests, as the smoke clears, gasp, as sitting on the throne, missing an arm, his light brown hair burnt away. Eye sockets empty and burnt. The robes tattered, splayed back out from the force of the explosion. The throne itself cracked. Lies the burnt, charred corpse of Co-Phagus, King of Brakmar.
So he's dead.
As you look to the side, you see Vizier Ascent getting up from being blown to the ground. A little charred himself, but for the most part okay.
This is where we're sitting, right?
That's exactly where you guys were sitting and exactly where Trissa was at. Everybody's in the position where they were when this went off.
As the explosion went off, Vaughn would cover.
No, there's literally no time to react. This is as they open it up, it goes off.
Well, it's one of those. There's an explosion. The noise of the explosion, instinctively, he kind of just covers him.
Oh yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah,
I moved 5 feet to the left, basically.
yeah, you just kind of everybody just like Fawn. You just dive as you hear this. It's just kind of like old memories come flowing back into you. And
Cover the important person.
yeah, and then at this point, you hear Vizier Ascent's voice ring out. Shut the doors! No one is to leave this hall.
Is there anybody immediately trying to make a break for it?
No. And as he says that, the guards next to the balcony, next to the kitchen, they move in place, shut the doors, and lock them.
I will say, when the explosion went off, Mutha was nodding off when the explosion went off. She wakes up, jumps up, and now there is a very animated potted plant looking around.
Well, the illusion stays. It's a stationary illusion. You kind of walk out of the potted plant and scare a couple of other patrons, and the other lady's like, "Oh my god!" and faints. And he kind of, Ascent, looks over the corpse of his now deceased king. And he...
Guard station at the front too, by the way, I'm curious. But yeah, they are. Sorry.
Yeah, they are.
Go ahead.
He begins walking out towards the center of the room, down the stairs. No one is to leave this room until we find out who is the killer and what their motives are. For I understand that there are a lot within this allegiance that are not happy with the succession of my prince. Now, many of you are suspect. However, there are few of you within these halls that have little to no connection with the throne themselves and have proven to be quite useful.
At this point, Mutha whispered over to Jim. Who died?
In your head, in your head, June replies, the king whose birthday we're celebrating was just assassinated.
And no inside voice at all. Oh shit!
And with that, Ascent kind of looks towards the party. If no one has any objections, and I understand some of you would see me as a suspect as well, as I would potentially, and he kind of smiles, you believe I am the one to gain the most from removing his kingship from the throne?
Oh, what
So, I will step away from this little investigation and hand it off to a third party who will be rewarded for their effort in finding the killer. Beyond that, I play no part in this investigation.
Can I like make eyebrow movements at June?
Was your prime suspect?
You know, be like, you know.
In your head, you hear, "Yep, alright."
Junichi, my boy, my compatriot, would you step forward and let everyone know who you are, along with your company?
We are the BB Mercenary Company.
A little louder, I don't think they heard you.
Greetings, I'm Junichi Shujinko, representing the BB Mercenary Company. Some of our members you have met, others you have not, but we're going to have a little game of telephone investigation right now, and I just realized none of you know what that is. So, let's see what we can find out.
Now, everyone, I hope you will cooperate with the investigation. I leave this in their capable hands. And you hear some people from the crowd. Oi! What does that little boy have anything to do with this? He's nothing but lower poverish. This young lad and his band rescued my son. So to me, they have my utmost confidence and trust. And of course that they will do it for a reward, as a mercenary group typically does. As he kind of approaches the crowd more in a more demanding fashion. His form almost kind of swelling a little bit to assert who's in charge within this chamber.
Is he a big guy or a little guy?
Vizier Ascend is about 6 foot, but as he, like, each step he takes towards the crowd, you can see him, like, growing taller and taller. And a golden sheen begins to shine through his moonlight skin. Or his starry light skin.
He's not actually getting taller, he's just stepping closer to Junichi, who is only 5'1", so it looks like he's taller by comparison.
Oh no, June, he does tower over you now, much more than before when you initially met before the party began. Before he was 6 foot.
Approaching June, right?
He's walking towards the crowd, like
toward us?
no, towards the general crowd where people are sitting when the gifts were being brought towards. Not towards you guys, but just in the general crowd of nobles that have gathered here for the king's party. And he does, as he walks past you, he visibly grows taller, up to 8 foot, as now he's towering over the crowd. I don't believe you have any objections, sir. The floor is yours, Mr. Mercenary. We will cooperate best we can.
Oh, just call me Junji, and we're going to be very good friends soon, I'm sure. Now, let's see here.
Yes, let's see. Just
Company,
before we begin, June, at this point, we will begin our little murder mystery. Dice rolls will not be needed. This will be a critical thinking exercise where you guys put together the timeline and testimony of people as well to try and find out motives, as there are many people here that more than likely have ulterior motives in wanting the king himself gone, as some may think a boy this age is not fit to rule. Especially considering this nation runs the coalition and is the head of it. So, June and players, I give the floor to you. Ask as many questions as you want. Refer to the lists of gifts brought so that I don't have to repeat myself on that front. And remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. And I will reiterate whatever you need. But just remember, you're trying to find a murderer amongst the people.
Which gift is the one that exploded?
The gift that exploded, if you refer to the list, that was sent by Archduke Michael of the Church of Palor. It was an ornate box, and inside was a robe of red dragon skin, very well woven. That was for His Majesty.
And where is that person in this crowd?
Everybody is named properly. Michael is right below Fawn. Michael is right below Fawn.
So this guy?
Yep,
Do all these characters supposed to have names?
they do. They do.
They all have names, it's just we can't see them.
Oh, you cannot see them? Oh, give me a second.
Nope.
Yep, they're all just icons.
They should not be icons. Alright, let's make some quick changes here. That's my fault. Because the nameplates should have been shown.
Well, whatever you did for the Goblin King, it worked.
Did it work for Roma as well?
I can, yeah, we see those two.
Alright, I've just given everybody privileges
Where are you going, little frog?
on them. But don't move them, please.
No worries.
I will eat one of them out the window.
Yeah.
Michelle, it's time for you to go.
The goblin dies. No.
The newest form of execution.
Oh, God.
Just start killing them until someone.
If we kill everybody in here, then we get the murderer.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect.
I will let you guys know this over the next couple hours. You guys weave through a lot of the lesser nobles, and most of them are either dumbfounded. You find out many of them do not benefit from this, eliminating them as potential suspects.
One noble even says, I was a close personal friend. I'm devastated.
Some of them are
They're
quite.
acting like the king's best friend.
Some of them are quite sad. Some of them have known
the
the
kid just died. I hope everybody's sad. Is nobody who isn't sad? Let me ask that question. Who doesn't seem sad?
Chester Gallywix, Monarch Rala Roma. Cameron is. How do I put it? He is blown away. He is, like, disgusted. Not disgusted, that's too strong of a word. He is shocked. There we go. He is shocked at the events. Archduke Michael is saying a prayer, and being that it was his gift that blew up, he is sweating bullets.
Are there guards surrounding him? I'm like palace guards.
Yeah, can we get the box at some point?
What about Worthington?
Worthington, he is just, holy shit, what the fuck happened? Pretty much, yeah, and he's like looking at Cameron, and they're talking between each other, and you guys can hear them. He's like, oh my God, with that Cameron, that was Michael's gift to the king. And he's just kind of eyeing up Michael, and just when he does, Michael catches him looking at him like, you filthy child murderer. And you can just see he even now harder as he eyes are being put on him, he starts to pray harder to the Dawn Father.
Well, I suppose we should interview Michael or
So-
Michelle.
I think we should check the box first.
You guys at this
Before
point,
we ask him questions.
yep. You guys at this
See if
point,
what he's saying is accurate.
You can check the body, you can check the box, you can question people. Anybody in this room, even the band, including them, is in charge. And, of course, the Swedish chef and his staff have been brought in as well. Nobody that had access to this room is not included in this investigation.
Just like for a guy living in a trash can, he's definitely.
Okay. The
Something-
first thing before anything else happens, talk to the vizier and ask why there is not a cleric that can sort the king out present, or at least on their way at a run.
Meanwhile, Vutha's first form of business is making sure her gift is still intact.
The gifts, after they had been brought into the king, they had been placed back on or around the gift table.
Okay.
So let's start with this. Let's start with June, since he's standing right next to Vizier Ascent. The floor is yours, June.
Vizier Ascent, before we do anything, can you please explain why there is not a cleric here or on their way at a run that can help the king?
You assume that it has not already been done and they've been notified.
Very good. That was all I needed to hear. Now, we may begin conducting investigations, and then we can proceed after that through everything else that we've already gone through. So we're
Yep.
now narrowing it down to our major plan.
Yep. As a lot of the nobles either had no motive, had no means to do this, or some that are just so...
Opportunity?
or no opportunity, some that were just visibly distraught that their connection to the king himself either was nil to none or insufficient, to where they would not benefit, they would actually be hurt by his death. Let's go to the box. As Ramiro approaches the box.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
go
is
ahead.
happening while they're doing this?
I mean,
Yep.
if you're not done, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Junichi would approach whoever the head servant is, because presumably they're in here too.
They would be near.
Yes, have them question every one of their staff for a list of what did they bring into this room individually, and when, to the best of their ability to remember.
You are talking with a high elf man. His name is Bard. That I will try to do in as quick of a fashion as I can. But the...
Efficiency over speed.
Yes, indeed, sir. I will do the best I can. As far as I know and am aware, the guard stationed at the kitchen monitored it the whole night, and who brought what in. They'd also be an excellent source of information to talk to, as it is their job. I will question my staff personally for any uncertainties.
Very good, thank you. And then I would proceed to the captain of the guard, whoever's in charge of the guards here, make the same request of him about toward his people to find out what, who, when, to the best of their knowledge and remembrance.
At this, the captain of the guard,
Yes.
Ro Fagus is not in the room. As you ask,
Him in the room.
then I will do as you... And you, as you were talking to Ascent still, I will have one of the guards at the main entrance go get him. Anybody else I should have him fetch while he is out. If you guys have also forgotten, when you guys arrived, there were a couple guards that were also investigating people for items, just in case you forgot. For magic items and things such as that. They're basically the door check. They were doing security.
Well, that was kind of presumes in along with the
Literally
guards.
everyone who
All of the
has
guards.
Gotcha.
who
I
is
just
here needs to be in this room.
And that's the thing. I'm going to be very generous with information for you guys too. So, I shall have both those who were running security at the door and the teleportation circle brought in as well for question.
Very good, thank you.
Ascent, I'm gonna go take a look at the bodies. Is it alright if I approach the king?
Do nice. Do so with respect to His Majesty for what is left of him.
Of course.
Quick, use a phoenix down.
While I'm at the gift table, I'm also searching them to make sure that none of the other gifts have any sort of bombs laced on them.
How are you going to check that? But let's hold off on that, Vutha. One thing first. The body of the king. Then we'll move one to the other, okay? You guys will have to take your turns as you think about what you would like to do, as there's a lot to do here. You loot the body, she says, the wife says.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, do it in front of everybody, Fawn. Let's see how that goes over. So, Fawn. As you approach the throne itself, the purple stone of the throne that is laid with the support of wood, it's very intricate and very unique to it. And as you look it over, you see the metal lining itself is made of the rare metal ignimbrite ore. Or in this case, ignimbrite itself, not ore. On the throne itself is the corpse of Cophagus, burnt to a crisp from the explosion, missing an arm that is now behind the throne itself, charred. What about this corpse interests you?
Before I touch the corpse or anything, I'm basically looking at the point of impact to the body, seeing if there's like a more force in any specific direction, like it was shot into an area.
And indeed there is. The force, being that it killed the servants on the side, most of the damage itself, the floor may have a crater at its base, but the scarring and burns are very intense, leading up the stage and directed straight forward to where the box itself, when opened up, would be in the line of sight of His Majesty. And the area that you are standing on is scored pitch black.
So in an area, I'm looking at areas that really shouldn't be scored, kind of like areas that, like a blast radius from where the item was.
This, when you look at it, seems to be more directional. It has a bit of a blast radius, but most of the force was directed forward. Towards the king, as if whatever magic Ramiro had deduced was effective, yes, but the skill behind it was not that on par with, say, a mage of high level. It seemed very novice, as whatever was used functioned, but not entirely as it should have. Kind of blowing out. But still doing the job in the end.
Let's see here. Who would be better at this kind of work? Would Ramiro be better at kind of investigating these kind of...
I am quite good at investigating things.
Ramiro himself would be investigating the box for the remnants, while you are doing the body.
Okay.
So Ramiro, you can move yourself up to the crater, and you'll be next. Then we'll do Vutha. And I hope you guys are taking notes, too.
Of course.
So,
Who do I
Ramiro,
look like?
a stooge. I mean, after all, June's the one leading the party.
And I checked the body to see if this was like anything that Fawn has ever seen before, like a fire blast or anything like.
Oh, it's a fire blast,
Or
yeah.
if this was
Straight up fire.
potential something. Was there any extra stuff like projectile kind of
Nope.
thing?
Pure fire blast. You've seen this. It, as it was when it happened, it was trapped when it exploded.
So it's kind of like a runic trap kind of thing, or like stringing a bomb kind of.
You've seen many blasts and traps in your past. You would need further information to figure that one out. Like in this case, this would be a good segue into Ramiro, who's going to inspect the chest itself.
Yeah, I'm looking for any runic symbols. It's funny that you said that, because that's exactly what I would be looking for. Anywhere like on the box. Does it smell weird, or does it pretty much just smell like fire?
Oddly enough, the only thing that smells is the burnt metal. When you inspect it, you can find that the cloak of the red dragon, perfectly intact, not even singed.
All right, but what about the box?
The box itself, there are fragments around here. The box itself.
Like the box exploded?
The box did explode.
Of course it did.
If you would like to collect some of the fragments and try and piece some of that together.
Absolutely.
You may.
I am going to do what is called a post-blast analysis.
So tell me exactly what you're doing for your post-blast analysis.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm getting as many of these pieces together to see if I can't find any evidence of like a magical rune.
Fawn is also kind of discussing what he's finding, where he's at, and what he's
We
seeing
tag team
towards
this?
it.
You are all doing
Yeah.
this. Everybody
Well, I mean, like,
is part of
is
this.
Fawn helping with the investigation of the immediate vicinity?
No, he is doing the king's body.
But, okay.
Oh,
You can
I'm
either,
just saying what I saw.
as I said, this is you guys
oh, there
doing.
you are.
You guys are doing critical thinking and deducing to solve this. There are no rolls. This is role playing.
It was Colonel Mustard with the pipe bomb. And
Colonel Mustard with the pipe bomb in the billiards room. When you put it together, after spending about half an hour collecting the pieces best you can, the lid of the box is missing, as it had been fragmented completely and gone. All that you find is the frame of the lid, and that is it. The blast appears to have disintegrated the top of the box. The base, however, what I can tell you is the explosion came from above and pushed everything down and out and shattered it. Ramiro, that is the information you can gather from that.
Okay. I'm thinking if someone else wants to go.
We'll go with Vutha. Vutha.
I am going through the gifts and making sure that none of them are potential bombs, as apparently gifts are bombs.
Cool.
Right,
So,
that's the thing now.
how are you going to go through them and figure that out?
Using my intuition and nose to try to figure it out. I'm also still drunk, so this is going to be a disadvantage regardless.
You won't do as well. There's no rolls in this, but the thought is nice. So, as the list of items, I will go over to it myself in my side monitor, and I'll go over it as the Archduke's gift is no longer there. You can eliminate that one from the list.
Okay.
The sending stones that Arlen brought with him for the king are in a small ornate box. Simplistic, but beautiful. How would you like to inspect those?
Seeing as how I don't have detect magic, and
But you do have a partner in the BB Mercenary who does.
alright then. Hey June! You wanna come over here?
I break off from my current questioning of one of the lesser nobles who is absolutely pissing his pants at the moment because he's never seen a guy with purple gem eyes before. Yes.
He's not human!
I mean, is he wrong though?
I mean, technically?
As far as I know, I'm completely human. Well, barring a few bits. But what can I do for you?
Yeah. So, apparently, bombs are gifts, which means we need to check gifts.
I mean, they're usually not bombs, but good thought. What do you need me?
Magic.
Magic.
Test or bomb.
Ah. Oh, I see what you mean. Good idea. Click my eyes, detect magic. What do I?
Well, there's a lot of magic on this table to begin with. Almost everything on this table glows. The sending stones have a very simple magic. God, I can't even think what school that would be. Divination, I guess, for sending spell.
Yeah.
You get multiple different magics from the scroll case that Heather brought. The broken envelope seal that had a letter from the King of Elan sits there. That is the only thing that is not magical.
Other than, well, Booth's gift.
And with his
So
gift.
the-
Barring your own gifts, which you know are not trapped or explosive. Continuing, you see the seashell that Roma claims has a sealed gin has a sealed gin inside sitting there. That is magical with runes on it as well.
Is it the kind of magic I would expect to see on a ceiling? On a ceiling.
I believe, yes, it would be a strong conjuration magic. I'm gonna say conjuration.
And yeah, probably. And the control bracers that came with it, same thing.
Control bracers.
In Discord, it says Seafolk Monarch, Jin sealed within a seashell and control brace.
What control bracers?
It's listed in Discord.
That's what it says in Discord. It says Seafolk Monarch, Triton, Relis Roma.
June,
Sealed with
what-
a seashell.
June, what
and-
control bracers? What control bracers?
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so
And what is the golden statue of Goblin King Jaster Gallywix enchanted?
That, give me a second. I have to find the spell. I'm trying to remember it. That spell itself, when you... Or not that spell, that,
magic.
Oh, help me out, guys. I'm trying to remember the price. It's the I'm just gonna tell you straight up. It's a spell that changes the value of something. I can't think of it.
Oh, the one out of
Distortion.
yeah, is that the one that's out of the Acquisitions Incorporated book?
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up for me, please. I'm trying to remember.
I was looking at that one for June to pick it up because it really felt like something he would do, but
I can't remember it. It's a wizard spell, I believe.
Distort value?
Yes. What? That's what it was. This.
First level illusion.
Alright.
But it can be upcast, and it can affect larger sizes. But it would be illusion. So meaning that this one was definitely be upcast. Like,
Yeah.
significantly.
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so yes, it would be illusion. And then out of you also, with your detect magic, pick up a pearl emanating just a faint hint of illusion magic right at the base of the statue itself. And when you pick it,
The pearl isn't part of the rest of the illusion spell.
nope, the pearl itself has a similar illusion magic to what the statue has on it. And when you look over the pearl, it looked like on the bottom there's like a hole drilled into it that like what would be placed in a ring. And little scuff marks on the side for the prongs that would potentially hold it.
From the facet.
Yeah, from the facet, yes. And as I said, you get several different magics from the scroll case itself as well.
Are any of the scrolls destruction magic?
There is evocation magic on them.
But they're all what they say on the tin, right? Like the spell scrolls are what the spell scrolls should be.
Yep, you get, as far as that, do you take them out? Or do you just look at them from within the scroll case itself?
Are they labeled?
Well, they have to be written down.
Okay, let me rephrase. Is the labeling on the thing wrapping
No, the scroll case.
together, or is it only inside the scroll? Do I have to open each scroll to see
No,
what
it's one scroll case that houses with many different scrolls. On the outside, the case itself has like a preserving magic that will keep particulates and liquids out, keeping the scrolls safe. That kind of thing. So the case itself is magical. And then you get different underlying schools as well inside the case.
Okay, then yes, I take the scrolls out.
Okay. In total, there are 3 scrolls inside. One is Greater Illusion. Another one in itself is a scroll of flying. And the last one in itself is an extremely high-powered scroll that is labeled Heather's Invulnerable Sphere.
Heather's Invulnerable Sphere.
Yep. or in this case, it would be her last name, Teresa's invulnerable sphere.
Here.
And what does that one ping at?
The Pat, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
The immovable sphere. You talking about?
It's the one that Scanlan uses. That they
Vegetable. I want to say that's abjuration.
That's abjuration.
Yeah, if it protects against magic, it's
Yeah.
abjuration for
Do you
sure.
guys,
I can double check it.
yeah,
but
double
like
check it
99%
quickly.
sure that's abjuration.
I can never remember that's the one thing I really should do is I should get these schools written down.
The short answer is they are all of the scrolls are exactly what they say on the tin.
Yep.
There's not an illusion magic somewhere in the fly spell or something like that. That's the base question that I was going for there.
Nope, there is not. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all the detailed information for you as best as I can.
By the way, DM, this icon and that icon still don't have any names on them.
Which ones?
This one?
Oh, that's sorry about that. That's Arlen, and the other one is Heather. That's Magnificent Ascension, Mordenkainen's Magnificent. Oh, it's okay. Dominating Monster. I'm trying to. Sorry, go ahead.
What's the verdict, Jim?
Well, it's pretty much all magic. It's just nothing that's going to blow up, as far as I can tell.
Okay. So at the very least, we know that not all gifts are bombs.
That's correct, yes. Well deduced.
So the resilient, the sphere you're talking about, the resilient sphere, is actually evocation.
Oh, then evocation. What was the name of it, Pat?
Analuk's resilient sphere.
The Resilient Sphere. All right. Annihilation, television, annihilation. Autolux, yes, it's basically Autolux Resilient Sphere is what it is. June.
That's a facility spell somewhere.
Yep. And it is a wizard spell, as Heather is, of course, a wizard.
Pausing a moment to appreciate the slight touch of vanity on that one.
I thought she was a sorcerer.
Yeah, the
Who says she's not both?
pearl, can it be separated from the statue easily?
Oh no, the pearl itself you picked up off the pearl you picked up off the ground itself.
So it fell off the ring.
So it was near the
Statue itself. And when you
it was near the statue, but it wasn't a part of.
it was not part of the statue. Yep, the statue is solid gold as far as you know.
And you said it was essentially a pearl that should have been part of a ring?
Yep, as in the bottom of it, the pearl, there's a little drill hole for what looked to be part of a ring.
So we should be looking for anyone that potentially may have dropped this. It may not be related to the case, but at the very least it may lead to something.
And those 3 scrolls are the only scrolls that you find within the case. And it looks like there could be room for more, too, as well.
Was the seal broken before we opened up the scrolls and stuff like that?
No, the scrolls themselves were not broken. They're just kind of rolled up, and they had little
No.
ribbon.
It wasn't
Oh, the case. Sorry, yeah, they're in a case. Yes, each scroll was in one large scroll case. So multiple scrolls, one case. Because the case itself is protected with its own type of magic to keep the scrolls safe, or documents or things like that.
What was that broken previously?
All that is just a simple latch, nothing else. So that could be.
There's no way to tell whether or not it was open previously.
Nope. Someone could have not. It's just a simple snap and release, and then snap it back shut.
Then I'm gonna go over to Heather ask her, how many scrolls were in your scroll box?
Well, there should have been 4. Why?
Well, there's only 3. We need to know which scroll's missing.
What scrolls are there?
Jim, what scrolls were there?
Greater illusion, flying, and a very, somewhat narcissistic one about an invincible sphere.
I know that one.
Oh, yes, I'm quite proud of that one. That was my own creation. The last one would be a simple glyph of warding. It was a powerful one, meant for protection. And one other thing you find over at the table is some red flecks as well. And Vutha, you actually find that as June is kind of like doing his magic eye thing, as you kind of like, you feel dizzy, so you lay your head down on the table, and you kind of like, you just kind of staring at them super close.
I pick up, use my finger to, touch them, see if, they come with my finger, or what are they?
They're hard yet soft.
Investigation to see what type of thing it is? Is this cloth? Is this...
I'll tell you.
some sort of
I'll just,
material?
no need to do, just tell me what you, if you're trying to like move it around your fingers and things like
Move around
that.
my fingers, and if all else fails, lick it.
As you begin to hold it, it gets softer and softer. And then when you lick it, it doesn't taste very good. It tastes actually pretty bad. And it has a very waxy feel to it. And a waxy taste, I guess, since you tried it.
Yeah. So...
It's
is it candle wax?
it's red wax, yes.
Like a sealing wax, maybe?
I'm looking around for any sort of candle that have, a red candle of any sort nearby, either from the ceiling or...
No candles. Any lighting is done by magical means here. There are sconces on the wall, but that is a magical fire that does not burn, but produces plenty of light. Indefinitely. On the table itself, you do come across one thing that does fit the bill. It is the seal on Cameron O'Dara's envelope from the King of Elan to the King of Brakmar.
I open up the letter and work on reading it, as long as it's in the languages I can understand.
It's in common.
Okay.
And when you open up the letter as well, you find a very well-written document, but you also find burnt paper on the inside. Not of the main letter to the king, but just like pieces of burnt paper, of ash. As if someone had burnt a page.
Do I see any areas where a sentence gets cut off?
Oh, no. The document for the king-to-king conversation, perfectly intact. It's not burnt or anything.
Okay.
But there is burnt paper in the envelope. Just a little bit, though. Just a tiny little bit.
So
Not
potentially
not enough to be like a full page.
So potentially there could have been an extra piece of paper in here that was disposed of. Either through the explosion or some other method.
So the table has been fully inspected.
I'm also gonna ask Heather Taurus if she wears a pearl ring.
No, I do not. Rubies are more of my favorite.
Okay.
And she kind of shows you her hands, and she's got a couple ruby rings on.
I'm partial for rubies too. I point up to my crown.
God, you shut the door a little bit. Can you give me some water too, please? Please.
You don't have to whisper, we can hear you.
Damn,
No,
dude.
no, that's for Kelly.
I know.
I know.
Sorry. I'm parched. Some of those voices hurt.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, Butha just points up at her crown and says, "I'm partial to rubies too."
Oh, quite lovely. Quite lovely. Where did you get it at?
I don't remember the town name.
If you don't remember it, Vutha doesn't remember it, definitely. And she kind of, when she says,
From June's date.
oh, I'll have to ask him. She kind of, as bad as the scenario is, she kind of tries to force a smile to no success. By the way, Candy, welcome. Welcome.
Yay!
Welcome.
I know you hopped in here a little earlier. We're on to the murder, the investigation, the murder mystery of King Ko-Phagus.
Yes, we just inspected the gifts and such. Significant points. There is a missing scroll, a spell scroll, along with burnt letter bits, which indicates that something was stolen from the letter that was
Thank you.
the sealed envelope from Cameron, and a pearl that should have been part of a ring.
That did also have magic on it too.
Yeah. a little bit.
And Candy, if you would like to, in Discord in the D&D channel, I've listed all the gifts. And at this point in time, as you end,
I also
Inve-
remembered the name of the shop.
the Glitter Blast.
Indeed.
Yep. As you guys end your investigation of the table, the doors of the main hall swing open, and strolling inside, followed by two guards, see a man in simple yet dignified armor, representing his rank on the side. And Fawn, you would know this as a high rank. Walking in is Rophagus, storming in, fuming, grabbing the two men who were inspected people as they came in. And he throws one of them down at the feet of Ascent, screaming for the man's head to be put on a pike.
Does Visitor make any sort of exclamation to this?
You can go check out the conversation, Luna. If you'd like to know why, you can go check it out as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to ask the dude about the box anyway at some point.
Duke Michael,
Yeah.
go ahead and place your character next, and we'll start with Rophagus and Ascent and Luna. And I don't think Vutha would be. You're a little too drunk.
Okay. Well, Booth is over here then.
We're also going to give Candy a chance at this too. So, Luna, go ahead.
Why are you asking for his head on a pike?
A little down.
What's going on? Do you
This-
have proof?
This man has taken a bribe from one of the guests within the room to allow magic items inside. I only assume he will not give me the individual's name, for apparently it was a large sum of money. And Ro himself, he has older features similar to Ko, but you can tell that by looking, he doesn't have the same features. His it looks almost like they would have different parents, as Ko had like light brown hair and freckles. Facial structure, features, and all that are completely different, but similar in fashion towards Ko. When you look at it, Luna, you can surmise maybe they had different parents. Well, the mother was potentially different. Father was the same. And just go ahead.
Let me try. I think Luna will charm person on the person that supposedly took.
The guard or Ro himself?
Which one is being accused of taking a bribe?
That would be the guard in between the two named characters. And speaking of that, I have to add. Yep, there's Ro Fagus. There's his name now. I'm gonna say, because this is more, we're not doing dice rolls. It works. And it's like I'm sorry, I'm running into a bit of a financial issue. As the guard talks to you, I was told to let the man through for a large sum of money. I didn't ask questions why.
But do you know who it was?
He points over towards where Gallywix and Roma are. And he's like, it was, yep, over there, in the bottom right of the screen. He's like, that gentleman over there, and you're not sure which one he's pointing at, as they are literally standing next to each other.
Could you be more specific? There are two of them over there. Help greatly.
The green one.
A little more specific, please.
Roma is blue. Gallywix is green.
Okay.
So he's Yep, he's pointing at Gallywix.
Was it Gallywix who gave you the sum, or was it someone else?
His head, in shame, lowers to the ground, and he gives a slight nod, confirming Gallywix.
Whoops, sorry,
It's okay, it's okay.
I was just trying to get my slot.
Yeah, he does confirm it was Gallywix who bribed him.
Okay. Well, that was very helpful.
And Ro looks at him. If any of this has to do with my younger brother's death, I'm gonna put your head on a pike and throw it into the volcano.
At this point, June will walk over, with the pearl in one hand and just twiddling a coin through his fingers in the other.
Alright, Two-Face.
So, what's that?
Alright, Two-Face.
Well, I mean, have you seen my mask?
I have. I love it.
um, so yeah, and it just, and exactly which magic item was it that he was allowed in?
Do you ask the guard?
No, I asked Luna to ask her new friend that question.
He'll answer, I don't know. I straight up don't know. He just said let him in.
So you didn't even inspect him at all?
As Ascent is holding the coin purse, I assume it was quite a substantial bribe, and he kind of jingles it. And he's and he looks at Luna.
May I ask what's going on? Why you need it so much?
Fred here has a gambling debt. A problem that has been persistent. As Ro kind of grabs the guard by the shoulder. And the guard, kind of terrified. Yeah, so what? I'm not the one who got passed over by the father for the youngest brother. And it wasn't even the queen herself who bore him. At that point, he kind of slams the guy to the ground, his Ro does, putting his foot to the back of his upper shoulders. And you kind of just hear like a crack of the skull a little bit. And a little bit of blood.
Don't harm him. Gambling can be a very bad addiction. And you shouldn't have said that.
I assume that last one was directed at the guard.
Yeah.
Not the prince whom you are speaking?
Yeah.
I will remind you. Your safety is my job. Plain and simple. My men can be insubordinate from times and need to be put in their place. Now, honored guest, I ask that you respect my position and allow me to deal with troubled employees. Troubled men. I don't even know if I'd call him a man. And he kind of grinds his foot into him a little more. Worm suits you better, Fred.
Fucking Fred, man.
Fucking Fred, goddamn right.
Yabba dabba doo.
God damn it, Pat. I will remember that.
Yabba dabba, damn it.
Cool.
Yabba dabba.
Gambling.
Whilst all this is going on, June has made his way over and has taken a seat on the table across from His Majesty.
I'd say both you and Luna would be over there at this point. She has the information as well. And you don't have the other portion of that information, too. About Ro.
Booth, on the other hand, is asking the band if anyone had a pearl ring.
They show you their hands, and being a musician, they don't, since they're performing, they don't have any rings on.
She doesn't understand music, so she wouldn't really.
So, Fawn and Ramiro, we'll get to you shortly here, but I assume you two are going to question the Archduke.
Yep.
So, Fawn, go ahead and put yourself over there.
Quick question, real quick.
Yeah.
May I ask what Vutha's passive is? Passive perception.
Sure. Passive perception is 15.
Say again?
15.
Roll me a new stealth check, Pat.
No, this isn't stealth.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I thought you were still hiding, though.
I am still hiding, but she's right there.
Yeah, she'll be able to. Okay. She'll see you regardless.
Dumb enough to hide in this situation.
Yeah.
Since Vutha's that close, she'd probably see that Trissa is holding her stomach and is just hunched over, but is actively trying to brush it off like nothing is going on.
Vutha's seeing this to go, did the alcohol not agree with you?
No, it isn't.
Cutting back to... We're going to cut back to... We'll get back to you, Pat. We're going to finish up with Luna and June here.
Actually, if you could go to Fawn and Romero first. Candy's currently making... Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Then we'll go with Vutha and Trissa, and then we'll go to Fawn and Ramiro. Don't worry about that. That's fine. All right, so go ahead, Trissa. You want to say something?
No, it isn't.
That's a shame. I've heard water helps.
Not in this situation.
By the way, do you wear pearl rings?
Pardon?
Someone dropped a pearl from a pearl ring. We're trying to find the owner.
I don't know anything about a pearl.
Alright. Well, feel better. I heard there's a cleric on the way, so that may help.
I feel like that cleric is going to have more important things to worry about.
Otherwise, I can punch you in the stomach and make you throw up.
No.
That might help.
No.
Right in the jejunum.
Just stay far away from me right now.
Okay. I wish there was a bathroom we could go to. That would have been helpful.
One thing, Vutha, come here.
Okay.
I'm going to pull Vutha very close and whisper into her ear?
She's got ears, dude. She's got ears, yeah.
Yeah, wherever her ears are.
Her ear hole.
Yeah. Don't trust Cameron.
Okay.
He's evil. Make sure everybody knows this. Make sure everybody in our group knows this. Only.
Gotcha.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Say it back to me.
Cameron evil. Are we whispering this too?
Yes. Oh, they can know. Just make sure nobody else finds out.
Got it. I'll see what I can do about talking to a guard about allowing you to go to the bathroom.
It's not necessary. Don't worry about me. Just stay away from me.
Okay. Feel better. And I walk away slowly.
Alright, let us go to Fawn and Ramiro.
Okay. If you want to go first, feel free.
Fawn?
And in general, everyone's kind of sharing information as it's coming across.
Yes. I would assume so. You guys would find out these things, meet, and then discuss and move on to a further point.
Vutha is slowly going to everyone in the party and whispering, Cameron's evil. What's up?
Well, the moment you say that to June, he would just immediately mentally transmit it to everyone else and say, "All right,
Oh God.
What?
Yeah, but why?
I would say, Cameron is evil. Trissa says so.
Yeah, like I said, once you say that to June, he would just transmit that to everyone in the party and say, and transmit to Vutha.
Nah.
Okay, everyone in the party knows.
Good.
So,
would it be rude to eat from the buffet at this point?
Feel better now, huh?
Very much so, yes.
Sulfan Ramiro, as you approach Archduke Michael, you hear him saying, "O Dawn Father, Holy Dawn Father, I pray for thee, I pray for this child. May his soul find rest. I do not know what foul deeds this act has come upon, but I pray for your judgment, that the criminal be brought to justice." Yes, may I help you to, And you can see he's visibly sweating like bullets.
You look a little nervous.
Of course I would be. The fact that my gift to the king himself is the source of his death. And he kind of looks around and you see people just staring daggers at him like they're ready to string him up.
I mean, I wouldn't think what someone who did something like this would be stupid enough to actually be here. But again,
That's exactly why would I do this? I had no ill will towards the child. Our nations may have a rocky past, but the Dawn Father himself does not wish such treachery. That is of the evil three.
that is a fair point. Did the gift ever leave? I mean, did you make it? Did you have it made?
Yes.
Come from?
Yes, we did. We have had a bit of an incident back in the lawn where this massive red dragon burst through the belly of the city out into the sky. We were able to fend it off, and part of when we struck it, a large bit of flesh came off, and it had interesting properties, mostly in absolute immunity to fire. We figured this would make a wonderful gift towards the the king himself, being as the nation resides within a volcano.
Right. Who made the box, though? The box is what something triggered the spell.
The box is a simple and a gift I had made personally for the occasion. The craftsman is back in the lawn. He has absolutely no inkling of who the box itself was going to. I guarantee you that. And like you believe him. He's kind of like, after confessing that, he feels visibly less shaken. Like someone's finally listening to the truth. He's like,
Questions, Fawn?
I swear on the Dawn Father, the words I speak are the truth.
While he's talking, is Cameron or Worthington making any, like, fidgeting or anything?
Cameron's as cool as a fucking cucumber right now. He's been taking it all in, and he's like, shitty situation, but nothing we can do at the moment. Worthington, he's pretty shaken up, just like Michael is. He's fidgeting a bit. But what can you expect? You're from a so-called enemy nation trying to commit peace, and their king just got killed. As delegates from an enemy nation, it kind of puts you in a very hot seat. So he's fidgeting quite a bit.
Well, Cameron, you know about the gift that was presented, I believe.
Michael did talk about it a little bit.
And your note?
No, it's not my note. It was a written letter from the king himself sent to me that I was to deliver.
So, do you know if there were 1 or 2 notes in there?
There should be just the one. After all, why would there be two? We came with a single declaration. Isn't that right, Worthington? After all, you're the one that sealed it. And Worthington kind of looks... Cameron looks at Worthington. It's like, isn't that right, Worthington? You're the one that sealed the letter.
Oh, really?
Fawn kind of steps behind Worthington. Well, is it Worthington? Kind of puts a hand on his shoulder.
Step to the other side.
And he kind of, like, when you do that, he kind of, like... You know when you scare someone, they jump? And he's like, yes, back before we came here, I sealed it. King's seal and all, from the seal in our office.
See, why?
He's telling the truth. He sealed it at the office.
Why was there wax? Why was the wax over there?
Maybe,
Find it on the table.
maybe it's when they broke the seal and brought it to the king. That has to be it.
I don't believe you.
There's a bit of the note that seems to be burned.
No, just correction. None of the note was burnt, addressing the king to king, but there were
Can I smell his hands?
burnt
I'm sorry, but
pages. Yeah, you may.
do they smell like wax or anything fire-like?
You get besides finger foods and things like that.
Right.
It does smell a bit burnt.
Does he have any rings?
He does not have any rings. No. No rings.
Sally would send rings.
Is candy ready, by the way?
You make that in a
Almost.
Alright, let me know, because that would be a great segue into that. No, he does not have any rings on currently.
So, I mean, not to make a big deal, but you're definitely a suspect. So I don't know what we want to do with him if we want to.
I can't go anywhere. Nobody's allowed to leave by the vizier's orders. I mean, the guards are at the door. I'm not going anywhere. Cameron's not going anywhere, and Michael sure isn't. He's suspect number one. It was his gift that blew up anyway.
I mean, that's what someone who is guilty would definitely say.
It was his gift. I'm just stating the fact to you. It blew up.
Do you practice any kind of magic?
No, I don't. My family did back in the day, but I don't.
I also don't believe that.
Does Cameron have any rings on him?
He does, but they are golden bands. More intricate than anything in the weavings, but very small rings. Nothing that would fit the pearl that was described. You know, Worthington, your great-great-grandfather did practice magic. I know you're not capable of it.
Well, I mean, he also could have used a scroll since that went missing.
What was the scroll that went missing? I don't know if that was ever.
Glyph of warding.
Vutha and June know that it was a glyph of warding, which June is now convinced that was the murder weapon.
And Cameron would kind of look at Worthington. I mean, and he would, like, take a sip of his wine, and he'd say, Worthington, wasn't it your family, before the whole rebellion happened 1,000 years ago, that used to run the prison? And he kind of takes another sip.
But that's not my business.
And Worthington's like, just goes white and shuts up. I mean, I am here, good sir, to promote peace. And he kind of swirls his wine around and looks both you, Fawn, and Ramiro dead in the eye, one after the other. Why would I wish any harm to come to the king when there are so much more for my nation to lose? The ore can only be found here. It doesn't do us any good to assassinate the one who controls the flow. Is that enough of a motive for you for myself?
Unless, of course, you want to be the one to be in control.
Control of what? I'm from a different nation. I can't sit on that throne. There are others of the bloodline here. Like you,
So
the
is
captain.
Conspiracy, obviously.
I think you've been reading too many books, sir.
Right, because a gift just totally explodes inside the party of a king without a bunch of people being involved.
Well,
You're the one reading too many books.
Well, I can tell you I am definitely not the source. It's detrimental to my position as head of security for Alon and its alliance. Plain and simple. Why, what information have you found? I might be able to point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that right now.
No.
Should we huddle up? Like, to discuss a plan here?
Well,
June and Luna are finished, sure.
yep. So let me know when you two are ready. I'm just gonna try and buy
I got
time.
nothing else right now.
Well,
Go back.
walking away, Fawn gives a little. Well, I wouldn't say that you're off the hook, mainly because, well, situation being as it is. Oh, I do not believe that any of you really did it. I would have expected something a little more of that. As Fawn just walks away.
And as, of course, is the style of Cameron O'Dara. Well, I know where my innocence lies.
Nope.
I hope you find the killer. And he smiles. And takes a drink of his wine. Nick, ready?
Okay, yep, we're... So, June has a seat, like I said, right across from Jaster Gallowix. You can see a picture of this in the Discord chat.
Of course.
Hey, kid,
And
you're kind of creeping me out.
I get that a lot, but don't worry.
Sorry.
We're all friends here. Charm person at level 2, subtle casting on both the Monarch and...
Okay, I will tell you this. It does not work on either of them. The
as in
spell...
The spell doesn't take, or the spell doesn't... as in the spell
The
doesn't
spell?
take,
The- you-
or
you
they
s-
resist it.
You spend the spell slot, and the spell fails on them.
So they resisted it.
I'm not rolling for this, so there are other means of why it would resist. I will tell you that, information-wise. The trident, as you cast it, glows, and as that happens for Gallywix, you hear a crack and a pop as he hides one of his hands.
Oh, did your ring just break? Luna would say.
Oh, it's a shoddy craftsmanship.
Let's see it. And I will walk over to him.
Indeed. Well, I do have.
So he shows you.
Magically mend things. Perhaps I can help you with that.
So he shows you. He has his right hand behind his back, but he shows you his left hand. He's like, see, nothing's wrong.
What about the other hand?
Oh, you don't want to see that.
I absolutely insist.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Okay, then I guess
Should
we
I
have our
physically
guilty
assault him?
party. Very well.
Can I pick him up?
I'll remind you guys, these are kings of neighboring nations.
Sure, but I mean, he's not cooperating with my investigation.
Hey, you're right, and he's not gonna fucking cooperate.
Well, I'm assuming I get the same result from my detect thoughts. I can't even read their surface thoughts.
I'll give you the surface thoughts. Gallywix is like, oh god, I'm fucking made. Shit.
And the Triton?
This insolent air breather. He dares walk before me and demand.
At which point I would transmit to him, we have demanded nothing of you yet, Your Majesty. Well, I still keep my eyes on the goblin.
Your spell has otherwise stated else. And he looks at his trident and then looks at you. And you guys...
As I said, I have demanded nothing of you, Your Majesty.
I will also like to point out, too, everybody here was not allowed to bring in weapons. Yet still he stands here with a trident in his hand.
Yeah, I thought, like, magical and weapons was forbidden.
Oh yeah, it was very forbidden.
I noticed your trident, like, glowed. I thought that wasn't allowed in here.
Well,
And
weapons aren't allowed in here either, and yet here he stands. But I am still more interested in our goblin friend here, who, and I hold up the pearl, is probably wearing a ring with a missing pearl.
Can I pick him up?
No, stay away from me, you pig lug. Get away. Get away.
Let's see your hand.
As you grab his hand, his right hand, he's got a lot of rings. He's got multiple rings on some fingers. As you look them over, there's one that is missing a inset of a gem or a jewel or something round.
That's interesting.
When you bring the pearl up to it, it fits to a T.
Of course it does.
What were you doing over by the gift table?
Nothing.
Wrong answer.
I'm assuming that when I start trying to dig, my spell fail.
Mm-hmm. You get surface thoughts, but it cannot go any farther. As
Knock him out,
another ring, when you do that,
I wonder, how many of those do you have? And how many would it take? Shall we find out? Or do you want to explain?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. If you're thinking I'm the one that killed the king,
If it had something to do with it.
no,
I never said
no.
anything about you killing the king. What an interesting assumption. Detect thoughts again.
Before you do that, Roma kind of speaks up. Really, Garlywix, you were just talking about how you could run the coalition so much smoother, so much better than the young king, and make a nasty, insane profit. What about that? As Roma kind of looks at him. I could. I was boasting. I'm not gonna go murder some 14-year-old kid for. Well, depends on how much. I mean, maybe.
I mean, there was that one time,
weren't
but
helping
he
the
was
case.
13. So me.
But regardless, we're only asking why you were at the gift table.
Whatever. Okay.
Look, he's having a hard time finding the words. He doesn't want to spill the beans. He keeps eyeing the statue again and again.
Does that have something to do with the statue?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Melt it.
Well, then does it have to do
What do his surface thoughts say?
Don't touch the statue. Don't touch the statue. Don't touch the statue. Don't look at the statue.
Fawn heads over to the statue.
Vutha, Fawn, if you wouldn't mind examining that statue. Luna, you know more about arcane than I do. Would you mind assisting?
Sure.
Instead of examining, start to lick the statue.
No, don't do that.
Too late, she already did. As you begin to lick the statue, a golden paint flakes off.
Ah!
Ew.
Tastes nasty. Tastes real fucking nasty. Underneath is a dark, crackly metal. Fawn and Luna, you would know this as lead.
So he was passing off the statue as lead.
No, he's passing off the lead statue as gold.
Yeah, I know gold. That ain't gold.
He's broke, aren't you? You're broke, aren't you?
No, I'm fucking cheap as shit. And he says that with a big smile, and he's like, you see all these like gold teeth in there.
Are those real?
Oh yeah, they're fucking real. This is my money.
Pull.
I suppose.
You gotta
Charm person.
remember, the Goblin Nation runs on the simple fact of the richest goblin is king.
That's fair. Well, yeah, but that's what he wouldn't want anybody to know, that he was poor.
No, cheap. No, cheap. Remember, if it was a stat, like, he wants to show off his money, but if he spends it, he loses it. So in this case, it was a cheap-ass lead statue, painted gold, and it's life-size.
And it was also charmed with a
Distort value.
to disguise it.
Yep.
To disguise it to make the lie more believable. But
So, that, as you guys deduce,
Was the reason that he was there.
yep.
So he had nothing to do with the murder. Rather, he was just cheap and wanted to ensure that things were still hidden as more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, to give off the illusion, like, look at me, I've got a lot of money, and I'm giving another king a golden statue of myself with my hubris intact, and it's a lot of money to make up something that size.
Alright, well, false lead, but if nothing else, this means you're clear of suspicion for the murder.
not quite.
Not
but
quite.
very much
Eh,
down the rank.
He's like, come on. And he's like, what about Fishboy here, huh? Now you do not want to be barging up that ladder again.
Yeah, I'm wondering, how did you get your trident in here since we weren't supposed to have weapons?
It's cursed. It's never meant to leave my side.
That doesn't change the fact that all of us had to remove our weapons. How did you get yours in?
If I were to remove mine, The destruction of the sea nations would be absolute. It is a old family curse. As long as the trident remains with me and is never separated from me, the seas will remain as they are, under my control and my family's. And in this case, think of it as this. I hold back the raging torrents that would rip apart boats, making the sea untravel.
Quick question. Do you sleep with it then?
Next to me. I don't need to be holding it all the time, but it must remain in my presence. Plain and simple.
Again, who allowed you to have this trident in here? That should have caused a commotion.
Does
But
Spawn know about this guy?
no, you would not know anything about him.
Okay, so he's never been to.
You know of him, but you don't know, like, his backstory and all that. Royalty, yes, and all that. The trident, no, you've never seen him not without it. He's always had it, 100% of the time.
So he's had it every time he's visited, kind of thing. Always.
Yes, every time he has been in your presence or you've been in his, he's had it. You've never seen him without it.
Well, it does check out. He has. I've yet to see him without it. Any time I've seen him.
So, did you see anything suspicious other than Gallywix as a whole?
He kind of smiles at that and looks at the little troglodyte. He likes to stick around me for some reason. I don't know why. Did I see anything strange?
Specifically over by the gift table.
Well,
Others that were in that area.
it appears.
You, Mr. Gallywix, when you were over there doing your thing, or Roma?
Well, besides the two of us, I saw the delegates from Elan over there. Quite a bit, especially the young lad.
Young lad referring to.
Worthington.
Okay.
By chance, did you check up on your gifts to the king?
No, I
Before it being presented?
No, I have not. I assume that was being managed by the staff.
Is there anything missing of your gifts, as we've seen some gifts missing items?
There should not be.
Can you check for us?
I will. He takes a little stroll over to the table, walks back. The seashell is still present, but I don't see the braces that were to accompany it.
Oh. What were they meant to do?
Myself and several men have dealt with a nasty djinn that had been harassing some of our traveling merchants. He was difficult to deal with. Many of my men ended up with burns and had to be treated.
By chance, would this djinn potentially give power to the powerless for free?
The Jinn can grant wishes within their own means. If not, they will try and best accommodate, but I would not try and make any such. They're fickle. Though, they will obey simple orders. Especially if you have those braces on. It was meant to help with the lava flows that they have issues within the volcano from time to time.
Wow.
It would put me in quite good graces for someone to have something like that.
So, what did the bracers look like? What the colors were they?
DM, did
Yes.
you see them as we saw them as they were coming?
You saw them as they were coming in. Everything was laid out on the table. During the party,
June uses prestidigitation to create an illusion of one on his hand, in his hand.
yep, and it would have,
something like this as he glances over at.
yes, very simplistic, and it would have what would be a large fire opal in the center of it, and it was just. Did I say? Sorry, did I say bracer or bracers? I can't remember if it was plural. Bracers.
Bracers, plural is what's in.
Okay, so yeah. Yep, so yeah, we'll just say it's two of them. And those two were not with the seashell.
Bracers imply a pair.
Yeah,
By
bracers.
chance, did we see anything with Worthington when we were over there? Like, inkling of some kind of bracer?
You did not ask. You did not ask to check about that.
Would everyone mind rolling up their sleeves for a moment?
Because of Galliwix's stout, rotund nature, his sleeves are kind of pulled and hiked up farther back on his person.
Ruth is just like, but I don't wear sleeves.
Roma, on the other hand, his bracers already kind of on. It has nothing, and he kind of loosens them and shows you his forearms. You see? Why would I steal my own gift? Did you assume that I would use it to murder said king?
Oh no. It just might help us track down who actually murdered the king. And we have to have everyone do it just to be fair. Now can't we?
Well,
To everyone else.
I have a question for yourselves.
Pretty much.
Fawn, move your ass. No, move your ass back, because the conversation's not over with him. Because he wouldn't let you go.
Okay.
Your blue friend. I did not get her name, but she seemed quite unnerved and racked this whole time when I tried to discuss anything with her about her disposition. She just told me to go away, up and left.
Yeah, she's having stomach problems, but alcohol did not agree with her.
I don't know.
She's not a people person, Your Majesty.
Well, her actions during and after a murder are quite suspicious, should I say the least. Maybe you should go question her about why she is acting so erratic. Because from my perspective, outsiders like yourself are not to be trusted. The fact that Ascent himself trusts you raises an eyebrow. I've never trusted that man, if I can even call him one. But you're...
June just kind of gives him a smile, stands and says, Your Majesty, look around you. You are the outsider here.
And I would...
Her
And-
stomach isn't doing well? Luna.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently alcohol's not her favorite, apparently.
I feel that.
I asked her if she wanted a bathroom, but she said she was fine.
I feel that was more of a farce than anything. There's something else bothering her. Still, you should all go talk to her about what is bothering her. As even yourselves are potential suspects. At least in my eyes, they are.
That makes no sense.
I was
And I ask you this question. How much do you truly know of your companions?
More
What?
than we know about you,
Indeed.
Your Majesty.
I'm gonna go
Good day.
make sure she's alright.
Luna's a fluffy kitty. June's weird sometimes, but has an amazing mate.
Huh.
Fawn has weird age problems. And Trissa.
And Fawn is now pushing her over to
Interesting. Well, if you do a good job, I might have some work for yourselves. I have,
Keep it in mind, Your Majesty. Our plate is rather full at the moment, but you know.
Indeed.
It's good to have more contracts.
Let's call this, let's say, a test of skill for employment to see if you're up to the task.
Isn't everything?
Well, go on. Find the murderer of the king. Be it. He kind of looks over at Michael, Cameron, and Worthington, and then he looks off to the side where the band is, towards where he knows Trissa sits, but who knows, the killer might be closer than you realize.
June smiles, glances over at the goblin, back, and shrugs. You're right. That's a distinct possibility.
Okay, guys. What do you do next?
first Trissa, then the band.
Cool. Okay. Anybody who wants to talk to Trissa can find her.
Are you doing alright?
First, I just kind of. She seems like she was zoning out a little bit, but then she kind of jumps when Luna walks up. I'm fine. It's just the alcohol.
You guys know that what Rala told you, Roma. It's not quite the case.
Trisha,
If they want, if they,
you know my
everyone
friends.
wants, if everyone wants to roll a intelligence check for me, if they don't mind.
Well, it depends on how much the characters trust Roma.
Okay.
If they believe him. Leave this to, if it comes down to a roll, I'll call for a roll, but he did tell them that that's not the case with her. She's not ill. It's something else.
Luther trusts Trissa enough to go, yeah, it's just a stomach ache. Roma, I barely know her. I trust Trissa.
And
Him.
And
Roma's a him.
June knows well enough to the last thing we need to do right now is all crowd around her. So he's actually going over to talk to Heather about the spell scrolls.
Okay.
Specifically the glyph of warding, one that's missing, and, you know, just confirm possible applications as an explosive device.
Trissa first,
I will try
then
to
Heather.
find that.
Yeah, the only
That's how we'll
reason
do it.
that Butha joined Luna is because she believes that Luna can potentially cure stomach aches.
No.
No, I don't think I have anything up right now that could cure a stomach ache, but I could heal, but I think stomach ache is something else. That's a poison or...
I mean, if Trissa's feeling down, a lesser restoration might help. Or it might not. You don't know. I mean, but she looks physically in pain, holding her stomach.
Garrett,
What's up?
you might have to cut this short. My arm is getting really tired every time I put them down.
Well, the floor is your guys' Trissa, Luna, and Fawn. And Vuth, I guess.
I'm just trying to think of how Luna would say.
Alright, then let's go over to Heather and June.
And Romero.
And Ramiro, yes.
The missing scroll, the glyph of warding. If memory serves, that can be used to create an explosion similar to what we witnessed up there. True? Am I remembering that correctly?
I hate to believe so, but yes, it can, and seems like whoever did this wants to pin blame on me, but the fact that they knew that I'd be bringing a scroll is of that type is unfathomable. Especially here, as this was I selected and created myself.
And
It's a
you
little
told
suspicious.
no one. And you told no one which spells you.
The only people I'd be able to tell are all of you. Why would I tell any of the other delegates in royalty here?
That's not what I mean. Is there any possibility that someone, for example, saw you packing them back in sorry, country fails.
Magna.
What country is she from again?
Magna.
Thank you. When you were packing these in Magna, when you were creating them, when you were deciding which spells you would create, you would put on scrolls for the king. Is there anyone who might have gotten that information, especially given your family's nature?
Even, and she kind of leans in close, even if and she whispers this, even if my brother somehow got information, why would he deal with a nation so far away? What would he seek to gain here?
You know him better than I.
That's the thing.
If anyone knows, it would be you.
That's the thing. He gains nothing from here. If he was to kill someone, he would do it with poison. He would do it maliciously, so that they would suffer. He would enjoy it. This is instantaneous death. Poor boy.
This one is just in her mind. He would say, perhaps not. But if he were to get that information and sell it for something else that he needs, what then?
When you say that,
So that's why I want to know if it's possible that someone else might know this information. Who might have found this out before other than you?
The only people that would know beyond myself, I can't think of anyone. I didn't tell anybody about this. The only people who'd be able to find that out is if they went into the case itself and took it out and looked at it. I think you're trying to connect dots that just don't lead to this, to back home. Sorry about that.
I think it's time we talk to Worthington.
Do we know? Is there any way to tell if the case has been tampered with?
There should be 4 scrolls in there. And she tells you exactly the ones I told you earlier. And the one missing is the glyph of warding. If you can find that, maybe you'll find your culprit. They would, if they use the same spell, they would have no idea I'm bringing it. They might want to just pin it on me, the fact that I brought scrolls as a gift. Just to throw people off. If my scroll is on someone, they're trying to peg this death on me.
I'm fairly certain if they have the scroll, then they didn't use it. It's consumed by the spell, as I recall.
But if someone was to murder the king, why would they, on a whim, not bring their own? They wouldn't know what I brought. June, I think you're trying to connect dots that don't exist.
Yes, I heard you, GM, thanks.
No, sorry about that. No, I'm talking as Heather in this case.
Yeah, but you repeated the same phrase twice. That's all.
Yes.
Sorry. And I, as Heather, I'm trying to reiterate it. Because in her mind, none, the delegates, the other monarchs, wouldn't know that she brought that. This is her gift to the king by invitation.
Well,
I'm also trying not to have it so it's just nothing but silence, too. So.
Meanwhile,
Well, that covers what I needed to know. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Romero, did
Trisha.
you have anything to add?
Yeah, sorry about that. My roommate was talking to me.
No, no. This doesn't make any sense. I got nothing.
my only thought is maybe Cameron did it. The most suspicious people at this point are Cameron and potentially Worthington.
I think they might have been doing it together.
well, Trisha, do you think that your issue is responding with that Cameron person you were?
By the way, have we even talked to Arlen at all?
Nope.
We may want to talk to him too, just to be sure.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
He's the High Magistrate of Elan. Was that him?
No, Magna. He works for Inaga. Basically, to connect the dots, Queen Inaga's husband is Vizier Ascent, who happens to be the father of Naram.
Yeah.
So Arlen works for Naram's mom as a high magistrate.
He came with us, so we largely excluded him, but we probably should at least talk to him about what he may or may not have seen.
Because he has just been kind of chilling by the buffet and you guys the whole time.
Yeah, we largely cleared of suspicion because we sort of arrived with him, but we probably should talk to him about anything he's seen.
Yeah, June will go over and talk to him after you guys have your chat with him.
Yeah. So, essentially, I'm just like, well, try to help with her stomach ache. I'm gonna go join up with June and see what he's found.
So who will be talking to Arlen?
Probably me and June.
Well, I hope you're all having a better time putting the pieces together than I am.
It's still a month, but I
What
think
pieces do you have?
I really don't have anything. I mean, you guys have been doing this. I've just been enjoying here. Eating.
Did you see anything?
Besides, who went over to the gift table constantly? No.
Those being?
That would be the dear green fellow over there, King Gallywix.
Yeah.
From time to time, I would see the young boy from Milan go over there. And once in a while, I'd see... I think his name was Odara. I would go talk to the young lad. Beyond that, I mean, there were a lot of people, but for the people who I see you questioning, that's it.
Well, let's hope we can sort this out so that we can head home and hang our heads and get this a nice rest after all this shit.
Oh, I'm...
Quick refresher. Odara was the one that,
Cameron Odara.
they said, Cameron Odara, yes. Okay. He was the one that they said, sealed the letter.
No,
Yes?
Worthington sealed the letter.
Worthington sealed the letter, but Cameron was the one who lettered it.
Cameron is the councilman for security back in the lawn. Worthington is his assistant.
Yeah.
So
he's referred to as the boy.
Yep.
All the time.
Cameron said that Worthington is the one who sealed the letter. Cameron got the letter from the king, had Worthington seal it.
Well, I think it all falls back to Cameron and Worthington. They are by far the most suspicious here. What do you think, June?
It depends entirely on the how.
Well, what do you think they did?
This is where you guys discuss it.
Fawn heads over to June and
Have you
Huddle
guys started
time.
talking with Trissa?
Yeah, Luna is done with the stomachache curing.
Then yeah, we would all
I
move
never
over
got
by
to
where
talk.
Trissa is.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
No, we're gonna-
I thought we were just
that's
skipping
why I
over it.
said. That's why I said, when you guys are done with talking to Trissa, then we would just all meet over there to compare notes.
All right, so let's do the conversation with Luna, Fawn, and Trissa then. As you guys are talking to Heather and Arlen.
something wrong, Trissa? Like, I was told that you have a stomachache.
It's fine. It's just the alcohol.
Bullshit.
You've never seemed like the type to have bad reactions with alcohol.
Well, first time for everything.
Does it have something to do with that Carmen person over there?
Cameron, not Carmen.
Cameron person over there.
Now I think this would be where the rolls start coming in. If we do any.
Trista's not saying anything.
Trista, like, we've been with you for how long? Months? Years, maybe?
Months, not years.
Months.
Felt like years.
But we've been through a lot. Like,
That is true.
no, you can trust us. We're not gonna stab you in the back or hurt you purposely anyway.
It's not that I don't trust you. It's that you shouldn't get involved.
But we like you, Trissa. I consider you a friend. I want to help. If something's wrong and you need help, why not us?
That again?
Because if you get involved, I can't guarantee anything.
Life is difficult as it is. We lost Clark. That's always a risk, especially with us adventuring.
And Trisha, really?
What?
I always go headlong into danger. I've been with you long enough to know that if we go into danger, we'll most likely survive.
I mean, I've been dealing with it all my life, so
You're not there.
I'm not afraid of it. I thought I was.
Nope, you were
That's
with.
huddled.
No, they're not in the huddle yet. Nope, this is a conversation from
All
beforehand.
right, never mind then. I'm sorry.
Your conversation is with Heather and June right at the moment.
This isn't the kind of danger that any of you can survive.
Fighting
That
a god.
is pure evil.
Well, I kind of got that vibe. He probably murders babies for breakfast.
He murdered someone very important to me.
I'm sorry to hear that. But is that why your stomach hurts? Or is that something else?
Don't worry about it.
Trista, we're friends.
And
I'm always
honestly,
gonna worry about you.
other people are kind of worried about you. We just want to verify that we can vouch for you if they try to throw a curveball at your area.
You're not pregnant, are you?
No.
Luna being silly.
Yeah, definitely.
She answers in a dead serious tone.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my goodness, a baby of you would be like, they glare at us till we fin.
That baby would have looks that could kill.
That was such a
Depends on who the father is, but yeah, it might be quite literal.
Trista, you're not alone. You haven't been alone since we all became our DB company.
You don't understand. You can't get involved.
You won't tell us what's going on for us to understand. I trust you, Trista. I'm telling you. We're your friends and we want to help.
Can I just glare at the band real quick and make sure they're nowhere near me?
The band is listening to this juicy, juicy gossip.
I'm glaring at them.
They will take their business elsewhere.
Jared, can you take a break and feed Liam?
All you need to know right now is that Cameron is probably the one who did it. I wouldn't put it past him.
Considering he was trying to hint at it being you, yeah, I think it could very well be.
Though
No.
when everything comes down to it, it's likely gonna fall down on Worthington.
That doesn't surprise me. Knowing he's probably totally innocent.
Well, with the evidence that it's seeming to be, we have a scroll that's burnt and a note that they've brought. At least, that's what it seems to be.
And other than Gallywicks, they were the ones that were near the gift table the most often. So they would have the most ability to steal spells from.
Yeah.
I suppose I should ask what all have you learned.
Well, come on and join us.
And on that note, guys, you guys reconvene. Sorry to cut you off, Ray. Where you guys can put together all the facts. We are going to take a 10 to 15 minute break here, as I have to go feed the baby. Alright, so be back in a bit. Go grab a snack, and we will be back in a little bit.
Tell Kelly I said hi.
Will do.